For decades, the idea of alien life visiting Earth has captivated the human imagination. From science fiction novels to blockbuster movies and late-night conspiracy theories, the belief that intelligent extraterrestrials might be visiting Earth is a narrative deeply embedded in popular culture. Could an alien civilization be watching and studying us while trying to remain undetectable and out of sight? For an advanced alien civilization to be visiting Earth, two things must be a matter of fact. First, other intelligent alien species must exist, and secondly, they must have technology so advanced that only our most ambitious theoretical ideas could come close to matching it. One of the most compelling arguments for alien life to actually exist is the sheer size and scale of the universe. Our Milky Way galaxy alone contains over 200 billion stars, and there are estimated to be more than 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. With such mind-boggling numbers, it's statistically inevitable that life must have arisen somewhere else in our galaxy and universe. But numbers alone do not guarantee life, let alone intelligent, technologically advanced civilizations capable of interstellar travel. When we look closer at the requirements for life, stable planetary systems, the presence of water, appropriate chemical conditions, and billions of years of uninterrupted stability, the odds begin to narrow significantly. The Goldilocks conditions that made Earth a cradle for life may be rarer than we first thought. Even if life does exist elsewhere, the question of intelligent life, life that develops language, technology, and interstellar ambitions, is significantly more improbable. Life on Earth began nearly 4 billion years ago, yet humans have existed for a sliver of that time. Human civilization has developed only in the past 10,000 years, and radio technology, the means by which we could even announce our presence to the cosmos, has existed for barely over a century. If intelligent life had arisen elsewhere in the galaxy with similar or greater capabilities, we might expect to see some signs. Perhaps some kind of signals, probes, megastructures, or even direct contact. But there is nothing but silence. This is known as the Fermi Paradox. If the universe is so vast and old, and intelligent life is not exceedingly rare, then where is everyone? One of the obvious answers to that question is that other advanced civilizations simply do not exist, or they are so few and far between that the odds of encountering them are essentially zero. Distance is by far the biggest factor prohibiting interstellar travel. Even the nearest star system to Earth, Alpha Centauri, is over 4 light-years away. That may not sound like much in cosmic terms, but with current technology, it would take tens of thousands of years to travel there. Intergalactic travel, the kind we see in science fiction, faces nearly insurmountable barriers. The speed of light is a hard cosmic speed limit, and accelerating a spacecraft to even a fraction of that speed requires energy far beyond anything humanity can produce today or in the foreseeable future. Another barrier to achieving the kind of space travel needed for an alien species to visit us is the lethal and hostile nature of space. Cosmic radiation, micrometeorites, the vacuum itself, and lack of gravity poses serious challenges for any long-term voyage. Even with theoretical propulsion systems such as nuclear fusion drives or antimatter engines, there are no practical or tested solutions that make interstellar travel feasible. A warp drive is plagued with massive barriers, such as enormous energy requirements and the need for ungodly amounts of negative energy. Advanced civilizations face the same physical laws that we do, unless they possess godlike technologies indistinguishable from magic. But there is zero evidence such radical powers even exists in our universe. It seems far more plausible that if such alien beings existed, their focus would be on harnessing new sources of energy and exploring nearby planetary systems for other valuable resources. Many people use UFO sightings as proof that aliens are visiting Earth, suggesting that it is credible evidence. It's not. The modern wave of UFO phenomena began at a very specific point in history, the late 1940s, shortly after World War II. This period coincided with the rise of broadcast technology, global news networks, and the beginning of the Cold War. In 1947, the infamous Roswell incident sparked a media frenzy, and shortly afterward, reports of flying saucers began pouring in endlessly. This sudden spike in UFO sightings was more likely a result of new methods of information dissemination, mass communication, and psychological priming. Once the idea of alien spacecraft entered the public consciousness, it became a cultural phenomenon, one that is shaped by science fiction, military secrecy, and Cold War paranoia. It's also worth noting that there are over 100,000 commercial flights occurring daily, monitored by thousands of radar and air traffic control systems across the globe. Not to mention the thousands of scientific research and military sites, submarines, ships, and vehicles scanning for any minor anomaly. Despite this vast, constantly active web of surveillance and tracking infrastructure, no verified extraterrestrial craft has ever been observed or documented. With so many eyes and instruments probing the skies for every minute of the day, the complete lack of confirmed sightings speaks volumes. Prior to the age of global media, there were almost no consistent reports of alien visitors, despite thousands of years of human history under open skies. Ancient myths and religious texts may reference strange beings or celestial events, but these are vague, symbolic, and open to interpretation. It wasn't until people had radios, televisions, and newspapers that UFOs became a standardized narrative. That narrative has been reinforced and reshaped by decades of pop culture, often blurring the line between fiction and fact. Further complicating the matter is the fact that many UFO sightings have later been explained as misidentified aircraft, weather phenomena, astronomical events, or even deliberate hoaxes. Project Blue Book and more recent Pentagon reports have acknowledged that while some sightings remain unidentified, this does not mean they are alien in origin. The term UFO simply means unidentified flying object, not proof of extraterrestrial intelligence. Ambiguity is not evidence. The human brain is notoriously prone to pattern recognition, pareidolia, and confirmation bias. Once a person believes in alien visitors, they are more likely to interpret ambiguous lights, dreams, or experiences as confirmation of that belief. Entire communities and industries have formed around the idea, making it a profitable and self-reinforcing system of belief. Belief in UFOs is no different than the belief in a god. They both rely on faith in the unseen, rooted more in personal conviction, anecdotal experiences, and cultural narratives than in empirical evidence. Both beliefs fill existential gaps, offering explanations for the unknown or unanswerable aspects of human existence. In each case, the absence of definitive proof is often interpreted not as disproof, but as a mysterious confirmation of something that we have no evidence for its existence. The search for extraterrestrial life is not futile, and scientists continue to explore planets beyond our solar system, examining the chemical signatures in distant atmospheres and listening for potential alien radio signals. These efforts are rooted in careful observation, skepticism, and a deep curiosity about our place in the universe. But so far, they have found nothing, no signals, no structures, no hint of alien life existing outside our solar system. The vast silence of space suggests that life, especially life like us, might be far more exceptional than we imagined. The absence of evidence is not necessarily evidence of absence, but it seems increasingly reasonable to consider that we are completely alone and are not being visited and studied by aliens. I'd like to thank you for exploring the phenomena of alien visits to Earth, and I invite you back for our next episode